I remember the first time that I saw the house. I was driving by on my way to the garden show out in Branchford, and there was a for sale sign, and I thought, well, that looks like an interesting house. And I kind of came and knocked on the door, and the people who lived here before me, the Joneses, showed me around, and I fell in love with the house. It seemed rather large, 13 rooms, and we only had 2 children. But there was something about the Italianate style. And then when I found out that it was built in 1874, and it had a history. One of Yates County's famous naturalists lived here, Berlin Hartwright, and his father, Samuel Hartwright, lived across the street. And this piece of property was one corner of a 20-acre plot. It's about an acre and a fifth is the total area. But we loved the house. It was white with green shutters when we first moved in, and it's had lots of paint ever since. And I've lived here, let's see, what would it be then? From 1957, so that would be 44 years, just about 44 years. And it's been a wonderful place to bring up children, to entertain. It's always beautiful at this time of the year. And the lilacs will soon be in bloom. We've replaced several trees. This one and that locust over there. But some of the trees have been here a long time. There's a quince tree over there that, and there are very few of those in Yates County. But something about the apple orchard in Colburn. It's just spectacular every year. There have been people who have come and wanted to go up in the cupola and paint it, but it looks like a cotton field when you get up there. And who first lived in the house, who built the house, this is Berlin Hartwright, who was a Yates County naturalist, and his wife Loretta. They were married in 1874, and they had 6 children. 6 children who lived. And this smallest child here is Gladys. And her name, of course, was Gladys Hart. When she married someone by the name of Hart also. So she became Gladys Hart. And when we first moved here, she was alive. And a very interesting woman. She loved to come back to the house and see what we had done to it. Her children, here they are in front of the house, grew up in the house, and this young woman on the right is Mrs. Orcutt, who lives in Penn Yan, and she was the mother of my secretary when I worked at Keuka College. This, by the way, is a picture of Gladys, the little girl, Gladys, when she was growing up, with a vintage car. I always loved that picture because she was such an attractive woman. And as an older woman, she was so genteel and had wonderful stories to tell about growing up in this house. You'll try it. You don't know. Okay. Well, I have this clipping from the Chronicle Express that talks about the Farmer's Almanac, and Berlin Hartwright was the third of the Wright family men who did the readings for the weather for the Farmer's Almanac. And this story appeared in a 1977 issue of our local paper.